Welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. Remember, we are live on Synergy Network from 7 to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday, with our rerun the next day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Remember that, viewers. So before we start our program tonight, viewers, we have a person of interest tonight. You know, I've been highlighting this program, this woman, and apparently, we don't know if she living or she dead. Natalie Pascal, would you please contact me? It is important. Please. It will benefit everybody, you and I. So please contact me. Family, friends of Natalie, tell her reach out to Saieed. Otherwise, I will start related information on the air, and I don't want to put business out there. But nevertheless, Natalie, please contact me. So viewers, as we start our program tonight, remember, Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on our fixed deposit, viewers. No other financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago is licensed to give you 5%. Remember, interest up front. So if you invest 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 on fixed deposit, remember, viewers, you are getting your interest up front. Up front, 5%. So whatever you are investing, calculate the years, and it is yours up front. Enjoy your vacation, buy a car, fix your house, pay medical bills, only at Real Talk. And if you're not getting it elsewhere, well, you know what to do. Bring them right here, your cash, your friends, your family, to Real Talk. Also, viewers, you can be a member of Real Talk Credit Union, open a savings account, buy shares, plant a seed today for a better tomorrow. You're looking for loan? Not a problem. Real Talk Financing, we love to lend. We love to lend. So if you have a house, land, gold, vehicle, and you want to use it as collateral, it's not a problem. With vehicles within 24 hours, you are 36 hours, 2 days, cash in your hand. Remember that. So, starting up our program tonight, Prime Minister, the Honorable Stuart Young, has advised Her Excellency Christine Kangaloo, President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, to dissolve Parliament with effects from midnight on Tuesday, 18th of March, 2025, in accordance with Section 68 of the Constitution. The Prime Minister has also advised the President that in accordance with Section 33 of the Representation of the People's Act, Chapter 201, writ of election for the 2025 general election are to be issued on the 18th day of March 2025 and are fixed Friday, 4th April 2025 as a nomination day and on Monday, 20th of April 2025 as polling day. So viewers, Monday, 20th of April 2025, as they will say polling day, but we in Trinidad would say general election day. Opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bisasa says the UNC is ready for the upcoming general election. In an immediate response, she said, the UNC is ready, and we will do what the listen to this, we will do what PNM MPs fail to do, which is to protect our country from being gifted to a selfish, selected group of young financiers. Prasad Bisasa went further in adding, Young quickly called the date to preempt the UNC legal action that was coming regarding his illegitimate or illegal appointment as Prime Minister. Young and the PNM fully knew that his appointment is illegal and unconstitutional. This appointment would have been shown to be unconstitutional in the courts, and he would then be forced to face a PNM internal election before the general election. Penny would have to disseminate him in any internal election, and the PNM financiers backed coup would have been put down. So Trinidad and Tobago, that was the opposition take on the election. But nevertheless, we're moving along. The swearing in of Stuart Young as Prime Minister is supported by the Constitution. This from President Christine Kangulu, who identified the section of the law which allow for Dr. Keith Rowley resignation before his end of term of office and Young's appointment. In a statement in the interest of transparency, the President explained that she acted in accordance with the provision of the Constitution, given the unique circumstances, the necessity, the appointment of a Prime Minister. Section 75 of the Republic Constitution of 1976, the Constitution, provides for there to be a cabinet for the Trinidad and Tobago. See Section 75(1), which shall consist of the Prime Minister and such number of other ministers, of whom one shall be the Attorney General appointed in accordance with the provision of Section 76. As the Prime Minister may consider appropriate, see Section 75(2). Section 76(3) of the Constitution provide that the minister and other than the Prime Minister shall be such person as a President, acting in accordance with the advice of the Prime Minister, shall appoint from among the members of the House of Representatives and the Senate. So viewers, thus far, they are going by the Constitution. Also, the Constitution therefore clearly contemplate and require there shall be a Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. The Constitution does not contemplate that there shall be no Prime Minister, the President noted. As per Section 142(1) of the Constitution, the Prime Minister may resign from the office by writing under his hand addressed to the President. The President confirmed that Dr. Keith Rowley, in a letter dated March 12, tendered his resignation, which took effect midnight March 16. Now, President Kangulu explained that Dr. Rowley's resignation triggered the appointment of a Prime Minister. In accordance with Section 76(1) of the Constitution, the President was tasked with appointing a Prime Minister. In these circumstances, the President had two options. The first is to appoint a member of the House of Representatives who is a leader in that house of the party, which commands the support of the majority of members of that house. So Trinidad and Tobago. So Trinidad and Tobago, the President did everything according to the Constitution. Everything, viewers. So nowhere along that line, they have breached the Constitution according to the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Is my money insured? If I put 500,000 on your account, is it insured? I hope it doesn't happen like Clico and they go bankrupt and all this everything.
Caller, I didn't hear what you said clearly. But if you want to call back, not a problem. I'm not hearing what you're saying clearly. Sorry for that. So viewers, according to all the sections, all the chapters, they are doing it according to the book. But nevertheless, you know what I don't understand with the UNC? Because the Prime Minister did say they are doing everything according to the Constitution. But what I don't understand with Kamala telling the nation, now we all heard this, and I'm not being biased here. This is where we need facts. Kamala is telling the nation that the appointment of Stuart Young is illegal. It is illegal. It is unconstitutional. But could Kamala and her administration show Trinidad and Tobago where it is unconstitutional for Young to be appointed? No, like I said, I am not for any political party, I don't support no political party, What I does, and what I will continue doing, is holding those in authority accountable. And I am using my platform for that. This program is not being funded by anybody except Saieed. And for the last 7 or 8 years on national television, everyone have known that we don't beg for sponsors. I stand on my own 2 feet. Trust in God. Thus far, 7 or 8 years on Synergy, not one day we failed. Not one day. I want to let you understand that. The PNM, the President, even myself, I came out just after Stuart Young was appointed the Prime Minister. Everyone wants to know how they could have appointed Stuart Young without the general election. But the PNM did it the correct way. They did it the correct way. Give jackets jacket, they did it the correct way, according to the Constitution. Now, to Kamala, you're always saying they do it unconstitutionalized. But not one day you would quote from the Constitution where they went wrong. And this is what the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago wants to know. If you are saying they did it the wrong way, come out and show us. There are lawyers on the UNC administration. They are highly educated. They are qualified. Bring the Constitution to Trinidad and Tobago and show us. I myself would highlight it on national television, like I did Monday night. I showed you where they did it the correct way. They did it the correct way. Now, the general election have been set, and that's it. It has been set. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you this, they knew they had to do the correct way. They knew they had to do the correct way. That is why Dr. Rowley didn't fight up, he didn't fondle for words. He just knew what they had to do and they did it. As I said, the retreat that they had in Tobago was for them to sign a document to support Stuart Young. They come back from their retreat a few weeks after, boom. This is a rollout of the retreat now. So they were planning. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. A solid government, they knew what they were doing. You see, when they bring facts to the table, people will believe you. They say, well, I show you all Monday night, I showed facts, and where PNM followed everything, that is what people want to see. They don't just want to hear blah, 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 and this and that and the next and the other. No, we just present facts on national television. Facts. Not one day I have seen where the UNC administration would come out and show the people the facts that PNM did it wrong. That is what we want to see. Show us where they did it wrong. Because that is all we want to know. We want to see where it went wrong, The PNM played their part. I played my part. Now let's see what the UNC, what part they are going to play. Because we are going for a short commercial break. But when we come back, PM, Young, cabinet reshuffle, not a demotion for some after this.
We'll be right back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Realtalk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Realtalk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Realtalk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Realtalk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
At Realtalk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
So welcome back to Real Talk viewers. As newly appointed Prime Minister Stuart Young announced his new cabinet yesterday, he said he's hoping his ministers will not see the reshuffle of their portfolios as Trinidad and Tobago as a demotion. Addressing the change, Young said he does not see the reshuffle as a demotion. Listen to Young.
I absolutely hope they don't see it in that way whatsoever. As you say, they're senior members and they've also served in many previous governments, many previous PNM governments. Let me tell you all something. Change and the shifting around and the reshuffling of a cabinet is absolutely nothing that is abnormal. But what you've seen with us as a PNM government for the last 10 years, and in particular even with this opportunity of a new Prime Minister coming in, is you're not seeing what you saw in previous governments. You're not seeing shifts every Monday morning, etc. It was an opportunity for us to take strategic decisions, for me to look at it strategically, knowing what I want to do in the future and realign certain portfolios and ministers. So they should not at all see it as a demotion. These things happen very often. In fact, if you look at the previous cabinets, I think I was one of the most reshuffled ministers in the last 10 years, and at no period in time should a minister see that as a demotion. They're still there as part of the government.
revealing the intent behind the reshuffle. Young said, Hines has a lot of strength and he wants him a little closer to him. Hence his replacement in the office of the Prime Minister. Young.
What led you to that decision in replacing Ministerial Hines as Minister of National Security?
I wouldn't say I was able to do anything that the former Prime Minister wasn't able to do. Minister Hines has served an even longer tenure than I have as Minister of National Security. I held that portfolio previously. But as I said yesterday and as I said this morning, I think one of the things we're looking to do now is a new chapter. And what you're going to see is a lot of different things happening built on a solid platform. Minister Gonzalez is someone who I gave consideration to and chose. Minister Gonzalez in this term from 2020 has always served on the National Security Council. He has experience in the police service, an attorney at law, etc. And I think at this stage, with where we are right now, Minister Gonzalez will take that portfolio, as you all have just seen, and Minister Hines, as you would see, I've brought him in to the office of the Prime Minister, but Minister Hines has a lot of strengths, and there are certain strengths I want to deploy with respect to Minister Hines a little closer to me.
Caller, good night. Hello? I guess we lost that. Check, you got the click. You there, caller? Nah, he not there. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, when it comes to Mbert, Young said his switch has nothing to do with the Auditor General issue. As a matter has been dealt with. Instead, he said, there are some things he intends to do in the not too distant future that needs Mbert in a different portfolio. Well, listen to this now.
What was behind the decision to replace him as finance minister now in public utilities, if I'm not mistaken, and replace him?
Yes, so Minister Imbert is the longest service Minister of Finance in Trinidad and Tobago, and I thank him for his service. He's done a good job, he's provided a lot of stability. Our economy is a stable platform right now, but at this stage, based on some things that I intend to do in the not too distant future, and I needed him in a different portfolio, and you would have seen who I've brought in is former High Commissioner Dan Paul, but more importantly former PS in the Ministry of Finance, Vishnu Dan Paul, who is someone that could literally hit the ground running in the Ministry of Finance. I think the timing is right. So all of the changes you see here in the cabinet today are very carefully thought out changes, and these changes, you the population now will be able to see certain movements being made. As I've said, I said clearly yesterday and as I said this morning, this is a new chapter and I look forward to building on it.
Did it have anything to do, of course, with the Auditor General issue?
No, it had nothing to do with the Auditor General issue. That matter has been dealt with. There is no missing money, despite what certain people want to keep trying with that narrative and trying with that narrative. The time is right. The population are looking on, and what we're doing now is a new chapter.
You know what I don't understand? You know, they keep saying no money missing, no money missing, no money missing. But why did they take the Auditor General to the Privy Council? To prove what? To prove what exactly? This is what I don't understand. Nothing is missing, but yet you carry the Attorney General to the Privy Council in London. Trinidadians, are we that foolish? Imagine they get embarrassed in London, Privy Council. Mbert should be investigated. Boom shut. Mbert get moved from his portfolio now to a different portfolio. I'll tell you something. If you all clumsy, Saieed and clumsy, it's a financial institution I run it. That is what I am running. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Saieed.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I would like to know who the UNC putting up in sentence against Stuart Young. And I would like to appoint somebody. Jason Williams, or what does be on Morning Brew, will make a good person against the MP.
Thank you, my friend.
Yep.
So now, viewers, speaking of Mbert replacement, Dan Paul. Young said he believes he's someone that could literally hit the ground running in the Ministry of Finance, and the timing is right. 22 ministers, including Young, retain their previous portfolios. The decision to remain as the energy industry minister, Young said, made sense based on a relationship he already built with the decision and the makers in the industry. So somebody else can take that portfolio then, Young. Use God in that portfolio, you are appointed as the Prime Minister. All I want 2 or 3 portfolios. And how much are you functioning actually? We ain't seen nothing, none come out of nothing. And there's the difference. Or is it only after the money you all grabbing? I don't know, I'm asking a question. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program as usual, man. Just what you have been telling the citizens of this country for years ago, you're telling the citizens and warning them about this mafia organization. Today, they display their true colors. All of what is happening here is the biggest con man and robbery they put down on the citizens of this country. And I want the citizens to be aware of this and wake up. If nothing, for the past 10 years, since 2015, didn't wake you up. Let this big robbery, this con man woke, this PNM mafia organization put down on us, on this nation. We must not forget it. All of them going home with millions of dollars. They're going home with that increase in the salary. And they're going to get their back pay retroactive and all of this kind of thing. They're going to go home with $1 million, while it have teachers, it have firemen, it have police officers retired and still waiting on the correct pension.
Well said.
Pension they're supposed to get. And they didn't get the gratuity as yet. You hear what I'm telling you? But these no good fix themselves and ride out on we. Citizens of this country, wake up. We must teach politicians in this country a great lesson. Although the UNC hasn't done anything as yet to prove that they are the people to represent us and carry this country forward. As a matter of fact, they're not the solution, but we don't have a choice. We have 2 evils, and the UNC is the lesser of the 2 evils. So citizens, wake up and let us start getting our act together and teach the PNM, that mafia organization, a great lesson. We will have none of this in this country again. Saeed, you keep up a great job you are doing to inform the citizens. God bless you and your staff.
Thank you, my friend. So, Stuart Young talk about Dan Paul. So I want to ask a question on national television tonight. Was Dan Paul part of the negotiation team that caused Petrotrin to shut down? I don't know, I'm asking a question tonight. Stuart Young said Dan Paul could hit the ground running. Petrotrin refinery hit the ground running too? And what happened? They closed down. They were shut down. So was Dan Paul a member of the negotiating team for Petrotrin? Let's hear what Stuart Young has to say about this. Let's wait to hear what those ministers have to say about Dan Paul on the Petrotrin board. Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. Step by step, we're going to reveal everything to you, the viewers of Trinidad and Tobago, and the viewers of Real Talk, and the viewers of what Prime Minister is going to do. Caller, good night. Hello? You stick, you get the click. So now, viewers, new Minister of National Security, Marvin Gonzalez, has made it clear his top priority will be rooting out corruption within the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Gonzalez replaced Fitzgerald Hines, who served in the position since 2021. Hines faced a mountain of criticism and a repeated call for his removal amid escalating crime, which peaks at a record of 623 murders in 2024. So, Stuart Young is a lawyer. Not Stuart Young. Yeah, well, Minister of National Security is a lawyer. Fitzgerald Hines is a lawyer. Yet, murder and crime is escalating in Trinidad and Tobago. So this new minister now, Marvin Gonzalez, was he able to root out corruption in Wassa? Was Marvin Gonzalez, whose profession was a lawyer, was he able to root out corruption from Wassa? Now you move from Wassa, you're into the Ministry of National Security now, and now you want to move a rogue element from TTPS. You know, something I just watch about like, wait now boy, we puppet or something in this country? Are these citizens puppets? You move a minister from A and you put him in B. But the thing is, A, you didn't perform, but you put you in B to perform. How the hell are you going to perform in B when you didn't perform in A? And they just keep going right around in circles. All the ministers are changing portfolio, and that's it right there. Nobody are better than nothing at Trinidad. Just keep going down like a rotten gander egg. Call a good night.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Saeed. Well, good show, man. Here this now, Mr. Saeed. You know how long the Chinese and the Syrians have the eye on Trinidad and Tobago? You know how much years the Chinese and the Syrian is trying to get in to Trinidad and Tobago governance?
Yes.
I'm glad it happened like that. I want the countries to see that a Trinidadian African and a Trinidadian East Indian, they have no more place there because they will never give up the power. You know how much Chinese Trinidad have? Trinidad have Chinese, you know, Mr. Saeed. Plenty Chinese in Trinidad.
Yes.
But nobody can win them in the election again. You know why? You know why? Because them is Chinese and Syrian. Now the fight going Trinidad and Tobago for governance is going to be between the Chinese and the Syrian. So the East Indian Trinidadian and the African Trinidadian have to take a back seat now. Them can't get to govern this country again. Bye-bye for them. I am so sorry.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to continue on this topic.
We'll be right back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saeed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Realtalk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Realtalk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Realtalk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
So now, viewers, almost the whole of Trinidad and Tobago were asking for Hines to be removed. Hines, removed from the Minister of National Security, now he's a minister in the Prime Minister's office. Removed from bad, but I don't know. I really don't know. Now, while acknowledging the heavy responsibility of his new role, Gonzalez said he was both surprised and honored to be selected for the portfolio in the Prime Minister Stuart Young's reshuffled cabinet. He noted that over the past decade, the government has passed several laws to strengthen national security service. However, he emphasized that the police must step up and take the lead in ensuring community safety. Gonzalez also reminded that government ministers do not patrol the streets. However, he believed corruption within the TTPS is a major obstacle in the fight against crime. Listen to this.
The government over the last 10 years, we have passed a number of legislation in the parliament to equip our national security services and to give the court the legislative platform to take the fight against the criminals. The infrastructure is already there. And I do not believe, whilst yes, we will continue to explore ways in which we can enhance the suite of legislation to equip our police officers and our national security services to take that fight against the criminals. I also believe that the police service must rise to the challenge and be in the forefront to take that fight to the criminals. The police service is our premier law enforcement organization, and therefore the police service must be equipped, managers must be held to account, every district police officer must be held to account, every sergeant and every inspector in the various districts throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago must be held to account to ensure that all of our communities are safe. And at the end of the day, it is not the minister that holds a firearm and patrols the streets of Trinidad and Tobago. We have law enforcement officers with that responsibility, and whatever is undermining their crime-fighting efforts, as the Minister of National Security, we must be able to ensure that they are provided with the appropriate resources so that they can take the fight against the criminals.
So Trinidad and Tobago, talking about Marvin Gonzalez, talking about police officers patrolling the street. I have a story to bust for all you about a corporal. A corporal demanded bribe for my individual. A TTPS police officer. When he didn't get the bribe, set up the man. Man went to court. And I will stop right here. You see, tomorrow night, tune into our program tomorrow night. and I will let the individual call in the program because he came and visit me. He came and visit me. And when he gave me the story, let me tell you something. The man lost everything, you know. Everything, you know, from a booming business to nothing, you know. I wanted to bring him on set, right here. I wanted to bring him on set and call out the policeman's name and give all of the full story of what happened. When I heard that, and I heard what the family did, and I heard what went on with him, I was like, nah, I will make it known to Trinidad and Tobago about the officers and them who there's demand from people. I'll tell you something. Police officers, their job, the job they took is to protect and serve people. The job they took in the station is to, when an individual come in, is to assist that person. The job a police officer took is to crack down on drug blocks and make the community safe. A police officer is a role model in the community. That children growing up, male and female, boys and girls, would want to wish to be a police officer. You know why? To represent the country and to represent the community. But nowadays, boys and girls, male and female, they don't want to become police officers. You know why? It's too much a stigma. I have a lot of friends who is police officers from 40 hours straight up to the commissioner's office. I see Wednesday night. I'll let the guy call in. And you will hear what went on and what went on with his family. It's sad. It's really sad. You see, officers fail to understand that when you demand a bribe from somebody, yes, it is against the law. But you see, when you start bullying an individual and you start targeting an individual, there will come a day that you will push that individual off the edge. And he might come at you being a police officer and your whole family. Take what I'm telling all you. Take what I'm telling all you. I, doing spread work, I'm going to tell you something. The first thing I'm dealing with is your tongue. Your tongue. The second thing I'm dealing with is your fingers. The third thing I'm dealing with is your eyesight. You have no idea how I working. Hard. You have no idea the torment I just go through in my hours of work. You have no idea the pain I under to make that money, to mind my family. All you know is that you come to demand money from me. Because you are what, police? Because of the fact that there's a police? You want to demand? But nevertheless, Wednesday night, I'm looking here for yourself. What happened to the guy? What happened to the business? What happened to the family? I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised. And it's not one officer, eh? It's a shift. It's a shift of officers. I wanted to do it tonight, but I said, nah. No, don't do it tonight. Saieed, relax yourself. Relax yourself. You're here today. And put your plan into play. I don't rush to do things, you know. I just get real info. Real info through Real Talk Security and Intelligence Unit. Real info. And I just bring it out at the right time. At the right time. If it need urgency, we go deal with it one time. We go deal with it one time. When Soklal gave me the ticket 3 days after, when he realized where he gone on vacation one time, he didn't want the public to know who he is. Soklal, will I have a pity? I go church and to who he is. You and the corporal? The corporal didn't even know how to give that ticket. I want a pity, I'll show you and to who all he is. It's an uneducated police. But nevertheless, one thing I want you to understand. You see, there's a time for all to sleep in the night. I want all to sleep in. I want all to understand. Spirit is be watching all while all sleeping. Spirit is be watching all when all sleeping. And that's what it is report back to my ears. I want all to understand that. So now, viewers, we're going back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez also reminded the government that ministers do not patrol the streets. Remember that, eh? Good. Now, he refrained from commenting on the overall performance of TTPS, but pleaded full support to ensure officers succeed in the fight against crime. He also stated that an extension to the state of emergency would be a cabinet decision. I'll listen to this.
Security. Who said that?
So what is going to be your fate?
My fate is that it's a heavy responsibility on my shoulders first to begin. But the Minister of National Security, wise, yes, it is a very important to lead the portfolio of national security in Trinidad and Tobago. National security is the business of every citizen in Trinidad and Tobago, every community, every faith-based organization, every police officer, every military officer. And I believe that everyone in this country wants a complete turnaround in the crime situation, and they want to live without fear. They want our children to go out in our parks and in our recreational spaces and feel that sense of security. Our children must be able to go to school and feel a sense of security. We must be able to walk in our streets and feel that sense of security. And I believe, quite frankly, that that is the desire of every citizen, and I am now depending on every citizen to join in this effort to take back Trinidad and Tobago, to push back against the criminals and take ownership of this land. They do not belong to Trinidad and Tobago, and they will not be given the free rein to take up our spaces and drive fear in our citizens.
Now, viewers, he believes that one of the major obstacles in the fight against crime was corruption in the police service. Isn't that, Gonzalez?
We don't intend to remove that legislative responsibility of the police service. We have to root out corruption in the police service because I believe, frankly, that that is one of the major impediments in the fight against crime. Wherever there is corruption within the police service, we must uproot it so that the police service, the vast majority of men and women in our police service, they are right-thinking citizens, they abide by the law, and therefore they must be protected by the rogue elements within their ranks so that they can take that fight to the criminals.
Now, Tobago. Meanwhile, asked about gang activities, including the Venezuelan criminal organization, Gonzalez acknowledged the growing threat of transnational crime and the illegal trafficking of drugs and firearms, and is open to advice and believes a regional and international approach is necessary. Listen to Gonzalez one more time.
region have been, making attempts to stop the Venezuelan gangs from making a route in their country. So what are your plans to stop the Venezuelan gangs from getting here, especially the Arunia gang?
Whatever is contributing to the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago and fueling gang activities, transnational activities, the illegal guns and the illegal drug trade, all of these things will be confronted. And all of these things must be tackled at their root cause. So, yes, I am open for advice and I'm open to all of the support from the various arms of national security, my colleagues in the region, because you cannot fight this domestically. You have to understand that crime also has a regional and an international dimension, and therefore you have to work with your colleagues across the region and across the world in order to address this problem, and I intend to do so and to forge close relationship with them and other law enforcement organizations as we tackle this problem here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Hola, good night.
Yes, hi, good night.
Go ahead, my friend.
Yes, hi, you're touching on some real nice topics there, right? But here, I want to ask you something, right? I don't know if you did see a video, right, a couple of weeks ago with a PNM activist / blogger who was talking about this whole PNM thing with Stuart Young, and she was saying that certain people getting phone calls from financiers to put certain people in key positions and whatever thing. And she was saying that a certain person in Parliament, a minister, was promised Attorney General, and another minister was promised to the National Security Minister if they help Stuart Young become the Prime Minister. I don't know if you did see that video. I don't know if you did see it.
I didn't see a lot of things, but go ahead, educate the people.
Right. Now we know exactly what she was saying had truth is. Because the person who was National Security Minister, Mr. Macaroni Paide, he can't change nothing from Fitzgerald, you know. Shopping and the cars don't mean you're adding anything new, you know. He can't do anything. It's a bunch of failures you're only shipping around all over. And they're saying that this new Attorney General, Robinson Reggie, she have no law background really. They say she don't even know if she pays she law dues and whatever thing. So and let me tell you something, right? Before I go, right? People need to wake up now that I don't know if this is true. You see any release from the Prime Minister stating that election day is April 20th? You see that release? So now that the election ballot is wrong, if it's true, now we're going to understand where the CNM really lies with poor people. Because nobody is yet talking about property tax, high gas price, high food price.
Correct.
Only the opposition leader, you know.
Yes.
The things that are affecting the poor man down in the ground side. Nobody talking about it. I'm talking about cybercrime and cyberbullying. The man who used to bully a man in school talking about cyberbullying now. Anybody talking anything that affecting the man on the ground? People need to wake up, boy. People need to wake up. Now it's time to wake up. Anyway, Saeed, I'll enjoy the night.
Thank you, my friend. Newly appointed Finance Minister Vishnu Danpal has pledged that his tenure will not bring financial hardship to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Danpal, who previously served as a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Finance, has worked with 8 finance ministers across successive administrations since 1991. He also recently held the position of High Commissioner to the United Kingdom. Yesterday, he officially replaced Clongenberg, who served as the Minister of Finance since 2015. Now, following his swearing in at the President's house, Danpal immediately displayed a different style of leadership from his predecessor, who largely restricted direct media access by blocking journalists from contacting him. He stated that you have to make tough decisions as a Minister of Finance and promise no hardship to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Danpal also made a bold declaration about the economic direction under his leadership and dismayed any plans to impose severe measures to punish the population. He said, "We're going to keep it simple and get the job done." Listen to this.
Listen, you have to make tough decisions as a Minister of Finance. You would like to not make tough decisions. But what I will tell you, and I don't want to say a promise to the country, but the people of Trinidad and Tobago, there will be no hardships. Not under my watch. That is not going to happen. Economic policies, you don't have to put pain on people necessarily. We are not going through austerity measures. We have no. At least I have no intention of implementing any austerity measures to literally punish the population. Okay, it's as simple as that. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it above board. We're going to keep it with integrity, and get the job done.
So viewers, he told the population that he would do his best, and when his best stops being good enough. Listen to this.
My personal feeling is that I've worked with so many ministers of finance over the years. I've been working directly with ministers of finance since 1991, from Wendell Motley right down to Carl Mahmood. And I think it's a very thankless job as being Minister of Finance in Trinidad and Tobago. You can't win, but you have to do your best. And it's something I could tell the population. I promise to do my best. And when my best stop being good enough, I know when to leave.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, the new Minister of Finance also declined to comment on how he plans to mend the strain. Listen to this.
So what I'll say to that is this. I don't want to comment right now on that matter, but what I will say is that I have worked with many auditors general over the years, and we have had fantastic relationship, professionally, very cordial, and I don't see why it should change now. I've worked with many of them.
But it has changed. So
well, we'll see.
So viewers, until we meet again, good night.